Shalom. I like to share memories with you today and how memories can give us some amazing examples to use for our lives as it pertains to kingdom principles. I remember the good memories of when my mother used to prepare for house guests and family to come for different occasions like birthdays and weddings, all kinds of different celebrations. And there was something that she would always do before they came. She would go through this process, and she definitely had the gift of organizing, and she also had a wonderful gift of teaching. And she would go through the process of cleaning, decorating, preparing all the food, drinks, juice, water. And the water that she used, she was very particular about her water because it had to be of great quality, high quality. And she preferred mountain water or well water. Those were her two favorite types of water. And also rainwater. She knew how to purify the rainwater and use it as well. So we can also apply these examples of preparation from the natural world into the spiritual realm, which is that we need to have the firm foundation, which is Yeshua, the rock, and we need to build on certain principles and practices as it pertains to what we need to do to prepare. And I believe that we can use that as a model as it pertains to preparing for house guests and family. When they're coming for a wonderful celebration, you want to make sure that everything is just right before they arrive. So we can use that as a model. And I'm sure there are other examples. You may be able to think of some. That's just one that I thought about. That was definitely wonderful, sweet memories. And then I also wanted to share my Goliath story. When I was in school, there was a little girl that was bullying me, and I believe her name was Levita. And we had words back and forth, and she kept bullying me, and she wasn't nice to me, and I was discouraged. So I went home and I spoke to my mother about her, and I spoke to the teachers about her and some of the other students, and there was not much done or said on my behalf to alleviate this situation with this girl or come up with a remedy. No solution. So my mother took me to the scriptures, as she always does for everything. She always opened up this huge book with all these papers and notes in it, and we talked about the story of how I said, the girl is tall, she's like a giant. She was much taller than me. And she told me that King David was little before he became king, and he went up against a giant named Goliath. So that inspired me. That gave me some encouragement. And of course I prayed. And what ended up happening was the most bizarre thing to me. It was quite shocking. As that this little girl that was bullying me, well, she wasn't that little. She was very tall. Very tall. She towered over most of the children in our school. So anyway, she came to school one day and she started getting this pain after she was fussing at me and some other children and just being very unkind and very unloving, just really hateful. But anyway, she got this excruciating pain and she had to go in the ambulance, and they found out later, I think she had appendicitis, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, to wrap it all up, that is not to say that we wish any harm on anybody, and I did not wish any harm on the little girl, but the Lord speaks clearly in His word. He says, vengeance is mine, I shall repay. And He also says the battle is His. So we can use this when we think about things that seem to be big mountains or giants like Goliath, and that we don't give in or succumb to the spirit of fear, because we're not to have a spirit of fear. We're to trust in the Lord because the battle is His, it's not ours, and He shall repay. We don't need to take matters into our own hands. So I just want to encourage all of you with the memories and the story about the Goliath story from when I was a little girl, that we have a loving Abba Father that takes care of us in the toughest of battles. Shalom.